Headlines first. Protests rage in Joshimath, Uttarakhand, and locals protest against the demolition of 2 hotels. Nearly 700 houses have been marked unsafe so far. Rahul Gandhi's Golden Temple visit triggers a political storm in Amritsar. Akali Dal and BJP hit out, demand Rahul's apology for the 1984 anti-Sikh riots. Tamil Nadu government versus governor showdown escalates. Get out Ravi posters plastered across the state. Governor provokes by using Tamiragam in Pongal invitation. All eyes on the Golden Globe Awards early tomorrow morning. Pan India smash it. RRR in the running for Best Film and Best Song awards. Will Hollywood groove to Natu Natu? Our special broadcast begins at 6:30 a.m. Virat Kohli scores his 45th one-day international century, takes 61 innings less to equal Tendulkar's staggering record. There appears to be no end to Pakistan's descent into total chaos. The nation faces one of its worst ever food crises now, with a historic shortage of wheat. And remember, wheat is one of the biggest staples in Pakistan, very much like it is here in India. Massive stampedes have been witnessed, rioting, and even at least one death as residents have been fighting for flour amid skyrocketing prices for the simple commodity of atta. The Pakistan Army's response was to fire at residents in at least 2 locations, people desperate to get their hands on small bags of this household item that was previously so easily available. But the Pakistan Prime Minister and Imran Khan-led PTI are locked in a huge blame game that leaves citizens out in the cold. Take a look. Food shortage, stampedes, gunfire. Pakistan, a country of 23 crore people, is now paying for its crimes. For far too long, Islamabad has overlooked governance and instead focused all its energies on the use of terror as a strategic weapon. Today, firing their AK-47 rifles, the army and police are protecting the priceless wheat flour. That's right. They're actually standing guard for atta against hungry crowds, risking their lives just to lay their hands on that one invaluable bag of food. Pakistan is facing its worst ever food crisis, with parts of the country reporting a massive shortage of wheat and wheat flour. Stampedes have been reported in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, Sindh and Balochistan provinces.
मुल्क का कर्जा कैसे उतरेगा? तो किसी नौजवान ने कहा कि ब्यूटी पार्लर बंद करके उतरेगा, किसी ने कहा कबाब रोल खाने बंद कर दें तो उतर जाएगा, किसी लड़की ने कहा कि हम कमेटियां डाल लेते हैं सब मुल्कों से लेकर,
सब अपनी अपनी गड़ियां बेचते भाई,
उससे उतर सकता है.
The country is drowning in debt, making even imports a tough task.
ये बताओ मुल्क का कर्जा कैसे उतरेगा?
मुल्क का कर्जा जब पैसे होंगे जब उतरेगा, आपको नहीं पता.
तेल का बोतल आता है ऐसे यूं पत्थर रख के ऐसे यूं बैठे होते हैं ये इधर डिफेंस में. अगर लड़के सारे उधर बैठ जाए ये काम कारोबार स्टार्ट कर दे तो ये मुल्क जो है तरक्की हो जाएगा.
मतलब हर नौजवान मालशी बन जाए.
मालिश में जितना पैसा है ना उधर किधर नहीं है.
Amidst this crisis, the political leadership is busy pointing fingers at one another.
इमरान नियाजी की बदकिस्मती कि 4 साल पूरी सपोर्ट के बगैर वो एक बदतरीन नाकाम वज़ीर आज़म निकला, और जो लोग जिन्होंने उसको मसनद इक़्तिदार पर बिठाया आज किस तरह के कभी उनके ऊपर इल्ज़ाम तराशी कर रहा है.
इस वक्त जिधर हम खड़े हैं उसमें एक आदमी जिसके पास बड़ी ताकत थी, जनरल बाजवा, उसका बहुत बड़ा हाथ है, बल्कि उसी का हाथ है जो आज हम यहां खड़े हैं.
At a time when citizens are starving, Maryam Nawaz, the daughter of former Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif, is making headlines for her shoes and clothes worth lakhs of rupees. The country is facing challenges on multiple fronts, like plummeting forex reserves, high inflation which has reached a staggering 42%, conflict with the Taliban in Afghanistan, the Baloch insurgency escalating, a huge historic food shortage, and a crippling power crisis. Add to it huge damage from last year's historic floods. Pakistan is battling to meet the very basic needs of its citizens. The countdown clock has begun to total collapse. Bureau Report, India Today. And remember, the situation in Pakistan has obviously and justifiably led to a huge flashpoint between the two big political parties in that country. Joining us live for a perspective and how this is playing out, because remember, a large part of Pakistan is blaming the politicians for mishandling the situation, especially in the last 9 to 10 months. Rana Ihsan Afzal Khan is spokesperson of Pakistan's ruling party, the PML Nawaz, and Abdul Samad Yaqub is spokesperson of Imran Khan's party, the Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf. Welcome to the both of you. Good evening and thank you for being with us here on India First. Mr. Khan, I'll come to you first. Very distressing images coming in from Pakistan, sir. And I want to make it very clear that this show is not to kick a country while it's down. Everyone is concerned about the images coming out of Pakistan, especially many of us here in India. And one wants a perspective from the ruling party in Pakistan about the scenes being witnessed in many parts of your country. Practically rioting. There's one death has been reported in one province over this historic wheat shortage. It started with electricity, went on to other things. Now it's come down to wheat, sir.
Well, thank you so much. Currently, I think we've just imported almost 100,000 tons of wheat, which has landed in Karachi. So, these shortages will be controlled of wheat, and the plan is already implemented. So when you're talking about wheat, a lot of that, the responsibility lies with the provincial governments, and the provincial governments have to take action against hoarding. As you know, they are authorized to do that. They have to implement the plan on how much acres the wheat is going to be, grown on, and the procurement of wheat, the distribution, and the management is the responsibility of the provinces, whereas the federal government is responsible to collect data from all the provinces. And in case they see that there is a shortage of wheat, then we're supposed to import. So whatever data we got, we imported the wheat accordingly. And we feel that if there is a little bit of mismanagement in the provinces, that they did not take action against hoarding or the price hike, so that gap is going to be filled with this imported wheat. And we do have reserves of almost 2 million tons of wheat. Those are the strategic reserves that the federal government always maintains. So a lot of flow of wheat has started coming from the strategic reserves as well. And where we will hopefully in the next coming days, not weeks, be in control of this shortage.
Because nobody wants a food disaster in Pakistan after the kind of year that the country has seen in the year gone by. Mr. Yaqub, who do you blame? The ruling party says it is the provincial governments. Mr. Khan didn't say it explicitly, but he says this isn't the job of the federal government. The provinces have messed up here, and that's the reason why this is happening. Who does your party blame for what's happening, sir?
I mean, it's not the matter of blaming someone or a provincial government or a federal government, but the fact of the matter is, as of today, Pakistan is facing multiple paths to doomsday. I mean, both security-related and economic-related. And we have a very less path to, recover it and goes to stability. But since this PDM, these allies are in the power, we are facing multi-dimension crisis. It's not about only economically, but if you see the terrorism, the re-emergence of the TTP. So I believe that the current federal government is not capable of resolving the issue. They don't have a capability to resolve the issue, and above all, they don't have a moral authority. The mandate, the political capital, they have lost it, and that's the reason they are avoiding the upcoming elections, the snap polls.
Mr. Khan, the phrase moral authority has been used against your government quite frequently in the last few weeks, and I dare say last year as well. But this actually goes to the heart of something that your party and your government has been accused of since taking power, early last year, which is that you've been distracted by politics and completely messed up on governance, as a result of which, notwithstanding the floods and the pandemic, your government has lurched from one crisis after another without getting a handle on anything.
Well, firstly, calling our government illegitimate or having no moral authority, that's a personal perspective. We came into power via the no confidence motion, and the current opposition tried to derail it, and a 5-member Supreme Court bench declared their actions as unconstitutional, and it's first time in the history that a democratic party has been called caught doing unconstitutional things. So we came into power via a constitutional manner, and we have the moral authority to govern till the next till this tenure ends. Now, coming to governance, we have we started with the we renewed the IMF program, which was sabotaged by the last government, and we saved this country from default. And we are currently going to complete this IMF program. So obviously, when you're in an IMF program and otherwise also, there were reforms which were required, and we've taken the tougher path, which obviously has a strain on inflation and the general public
but
overall.
Sir, there doesn't appear to be a recovery in sight. It is so historically bad across all indicators that there is a genuine sense of worry that the country may collapse.
No, it's nothing of that sort is going to happen. We have, what could we do? We could control the current account deficit. The current issue of Pakistan is a dollar shortage. Apart from that, there is no other issue. And for that issue, we have managed to bring down the current account deficit by 57%. That's one. We are in an IMF program. The only reason for a few weeks of delay in the 9th review of the IMF program was because, they were expecting us to further take an increase on electricity and gas prices. Okay. We are going to take that forward, but it's going to be in a manner that the low-income groups will not be affected by the price increase. So that is on the way. And when that happens, we are expecting a lot of inflows, and we will not only cover our current account deficit, but will be also be able to, comfortably pay back the debt liabilities in this current financial year. So yes, there is a dollar crisis. Yes, there is inflation. It is the same way in the world. The world is going through a recession. Countries are not running after growth rates. Countries are running after controlling inflation, number one, and stabilizing the economy. We obviously, are an import-based economy, so we have suffered a lot due to the rise in the petroleum products and our energy. So all of that are common issues with this region today, and we will have a handle on this in the coming next few weeks when the inflows start coming, which are going to be coming.
Because it's cutting very close. That's the that is the sense from all the indicators. Only a few weeks worth of forex reserves left as far as imports are concerned makes it an extremely precarious situation, not just for Pakistan but for the region. Mr. Yaqub, final question. The political turmoil in Pakistan has been seen as one of the reasons why governance has not happened. From the opposition side, from Imran Khan's team, how are you seeing this? What is your party's next step? You're talking about elections. You've mounted a very high voltage sort of campaign against Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif. What is the next step now?
Well, first of all, as Rana Saab says that I called them unconstitutional, or they brought themselves to the government in unconstitutional constitutional matter. No, neither I called it unconstitutional nor illegitimate. I mean, they have a legitimate power. I mean, they have a legitimate authority as they came into the power through the constitutional way. But even then, I mean, what I blame them is they have lost their political capital and the moral authority. But secondly, I mean, why we are demanding the snap polls or early election? Because again, they are allies. They are like over 10 parties in the coalition and still unable to resolve the issues. They don't have. So the fact of the matter is, I believe that they cannot take the brave decisions or blunt decisions. I mean, in order to keep themselves in the government to prolong their tenure. But the fact is, only the early elections, I believe, is the solution. So whoever comes in the power have a moral and a legitimate authority to resolve the issues and take the bold decisions.
Okay, we leave it there for the moment. I wanted to put the spotlight on this because of those, distressing images. And as we know in our industry, those images tell a story more than anything else. We hope there isn't going to be a starvation epidemic in any part of Pakistan. Nobody wants that. Hopefully things will be stable very, very soon. Thank you very much, Mr. Khan, Mr. Yaqub, for being with us here on India First. Thank you. Pakistan's historic economic and political crisis continues to worsen. Could there be a collapse on the horizon? Pakistan's Prime Minister Shahbaz Sharif was in Geneva just days ago seeking aid to rebuild the Pakistan economy that's careening towards a cliff's edge. Well, this comes even as Pakistan's foreign exchange reserves have plummeted to an 8-year low of just $5.5 billion, which allows them just a few weeks of import possibilities. Take a look at this disturbing report.
He was in his 40s trying to get wheat for his family. Daily wage labourer Har Singh Kolhi fell on the road on Saturday while trying to buy Sindh government's subsidised flour and was instantly trampled upon by others. The father of 7 was the only bread earner of the family in Mirpur Khas district of Sindh. Another such tragic death is waiting to happen in Pakistan any moment, in need to procure wheat. Food crisis in Pakistan is so severe that the government has banned interstate import of wheat. Balochistan is the worst hit.
हमारे साथ 2 लाख बोरी का वादा किया और जो पहुंच भी गया अक्टूबर में उस मीटिंग की बुनियाद पर, और हमारे साथ टोटल 5 लाख बोरी का जखीरा था सितंबर से, और हमारे डिपार्टमेंट ने 5 लाख बोरी 4 महीने तक फ्लोर मिल मालिकान को जो हमारे जरूरत थी हमने पूरे बलूचिस्तान के हर जिले तक पहुंचाई। 85% हमारा दारो मदार जो है इस मुल्क का वो पंजाब और सिंध से गंदम होता है, बलूचिस्तान से नहीं होता है। तब भी उन्होंने हमारे इस गंदम को बंद करके हमारे लोगों पे आटे की जो पाबंदी लगाई, इससे हमारे बुरान और शिद्दत इख्तियार कर गया।
Despite an SOS sent by Balochistan to the Pakistan federal government, no consignment of wheat has reached the province. Balochistan's annual wheat consumption is 10.52 million bags, and it needs 1.2 million bags every month. Different state governments like Sindh, Balochistan, Punjab are struggling because wheat prices are skyrocketing and have become unaffordable for a common man in Pakistan. Media reported that with the wheat prices hitting 5,000 rupiah per mon, the flour rate has risen to 150 rupiah per kilogram in Rawalpindi's open market. A 15-kilogram bag of wheat is being sold at 2,250 rupiah in Pakistan's Punjab province. This has left people running after government-subsidized wheat distribution. The real villain for this skyrocketing price is the fall of the Pakistani rupee in the international market. Hit by an unprecedented economic crisis, Pakistan has been pushed off the brink by the floods of last summer.
So my heart broke when I saw firsthand the utter devastation of last summer's floods. No country deserves to endure what happened to Pakistan.
Pakistan's Prime Minister is begging for the international community to provide them with much needed relief to survive.
It is clear that Pakistan's ability to recover from the colossal flood disaster, to restore critical infrastructure and revive rapid economic growth will hinge substantially on the speed of these actions. And the most important link in this chain will be financial resourcing. If that gap continues to obstruct our recovery and minimum resilience needs, the results may be too catastrophic to imagine.
Countries are being asked to chip in to help Pakistan pull together an estimated $16.3 billion. Because Pakistan is about to sink without a trace. On 6th January, Pakistan Central Bank's foreign exchange reserves plummeted to an 8-year low of over $5.5 billion.
The current economic and energy crisis of Pakistan is in fact a crisis that was been waiting to happen for a very long time. What the cornered Shehbaz Sharif government has been facing so far in January 2023 is a result of a cumulative effect of all that happened in the 365 days of the year gone by. Power-hungry politicians playing a cat-and-mouse game of overtaking the reign of command in that country, while the country was going to the dogs. Take a look.
The words crisis and Pakistan became increasingly synonymous in 2022. It was the year of crisis as floods inundated the country, leaving millions homeless in an environmental crisis. The country's economy was in near paralysis from debt and inflation. And those who are supposed to find the remedy, the politicians, were fighting a bloody battle that wasn't restricted to its parliament, but spilled over to the streets of the country. PTI chief Imran Khan's rule has been dotted with controversy since day one. While some allege that he was a puppet of the Pakistani army, others blamed him for being a stooge of his overly spiritual wife. In March, Pakistan's opposition united under the second generation of the political stalwart families of Bhuttos and Sharifs and called for Imran to resign.
शहबाज शरीफ साहब ने बड़ा सही और स्टेटमेंट स्पिरिट में चैलेंज दिया है वजीर आजम साहब को कि वो इस्तीफा दे.
The former cricket star turned Prime Minister, elected in 2018, was cornered due to the economic crisis and an increasing fallout with the country's powerful military. Imran Khan, after being selected, was rejected.
किसी आज़ाद मुल्क के लिए जिस तरह की हमें मैसेज आई है, ये है तो प्राइम मिनिस्टर के खिलाफ ही सिर्फ, लेकिन ये हमारी कौम के खिलाफ है.
After accusing the West of conspiring to oust him from power because he paid a visit to his Russian counterpart during the Ukraine war, Imran Khan tried to dissolve the parliament and seek fresh elections.
मुझे लोगों ने किसी ने कहा जी वो इमरान खान आप रिजाइन कर दें. मैं कभी हार जिंदगी में नहीं मानी. मैं तो वोट का जो भी रिजल्ट हो जाए आप देखेंगे कि मैं तो उसके बाद और ज्यादा तकड़ा होकर सामने आऊंगा जो भी रिजल्ट हो.
But the united opposition won the game and Imran became the first prime minister in the country's history to lose a no-confidence vote.
पाकिस्तान के मफाद को भूल गए, पाकिस्तान की जो आप महंगाई की बात करते थे उसको भूल गए, रुपए और डॉलर की जो इक्विटी है उसको भूल गए. ये वो इमरान खान है जब अपनी ज़ात की बात आती है तो हर चीज़ को वो कुर्बान करने के लिए तैयार होता है.
Imran Khan's exit from power opened a new, uncertain and volatile phase in Pakistan politics. Led by PMLN, the 13-party PDM coalition that assumed power on 11th April got off to a slow and unsure start. It had to initially overcome impediments in the way of a smooth transition. Cobbling together the largest coalition cabinet in the country's history took time and underlined the difficulties of forging agreement among disparate parties. Nevertheless, Khan's fierce opposition kept this coalition united. He took to social media and then to the streets to campaign and rally his supporters.
पैमरा कहता है कि जनाब इमरान खान की लाइव तकरीर नहीं हो सकती। क्या जुर्म किया इमरान खान ने? जुर्म ये किया है, सिर्फ जुर्म एक है कि वो कभी चोरों के टोले को तस्लीम नहीं करेगा। ये जुर्म है उसका।
Ceaseless political confrontation signaled the breakdown of politics in 2022. Political rivals either resorted to the courts or turned to the army to further their political aims. The army in turn was accused of not intervening or intervening too much by both the media and the public. Before retiring, the Pakistan Army chief debunked Imran Khan's claims of foreign conspiracy to oust him.
फौज की क़यादत के पास इस नामुनासिब जलगार का जवाब देने के लिए बहुत से मौक़े और वसाइल मौजूद थे, लेकिन फौज ने मुल्क के वसीतर मफाद में हौसले का मुजाहरा किया और कोई भी मनफी बयान देने से इज्तनाब किया। इसलिए पिछले साल फरवरी में फौज ने बड़ी सोच और विचार के बाद फैसला किया कि आइंदा फौज किसी सियासी मामले में मुदाखलत नहीं करेगी।
Imran Khan, on the other hand, was shot in the shin during his anti-government protest in November. His convoy came under attack in the east of the country. He and his aide came. It was a plot to assassinate him.
This all played to that script. All I want is a proper investigation into this. Now, the proper investigation cannot take place with these three on top.
In the middle of all this, Nawaz Sharif is set to end his self-exile and return to Pakistan to add fresh ammunition to the ongoing political war. Deepening polarization and political turmoil exacerbated the economic challenge and uncertainty, casting a long shadow over a worsening public finance crisis. The dire situation earned Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif to secure resumption of the IMF program and seek funds from friendly countries to finance the record current account deficit, meet debt repayments, and try to stabilize the precarious macroeconomic situation. Soaring inflation emerged as an even bigger political threat than Imran Khan.
2022 तो हम तो ये कह सकते हैं कि बड़ी मुश्किलों से, बड़ी मुद्दों से गुजरा है कि जिस तरह के यहाँ की जो गरीब आवाम है वो बिल्कुल पिस रही है। हुक्मरान जो है वो अपने में लगे हुए हैं, आवाम का कुछ सोच नहीं रहे।
The people of Pakistan were hit hard by the climate catastrophe in the monsoon session of 2022. Heavy rains and glacial runoff combined to submerge large swaths of Pakistan's south. The floods displaced millions of people and destroyed agricultural livelihoods, causing as much as $40 billion in damage that Pakistan could not afford. In the weeks after, Pakistani leaders pleaded for international assistance and led developing countries at the United Nations Climate Change Summit in a call for loss and damage funding for those on the front lines of the climate crisis. And the new year brings no new hope for Pakistan.
That's a wrap on India First. Thanks very much for watching. Business Today is after this break.
It's 2023, and India remains the sole shining star in the global economy. So what lies ahead as the Modi government prepares its last full budget before the 2024 general elections? Join the biggest names in business